Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, see I have an Armada running right here, and maybe you remember my last video. What the hell was my last video about? Oh yeah, doing Armadas with the Borg Cube, and I did mention Armada Speed Ups. Well, that's what this video is here. And one of the key things to being able to speed up an Armada is you have to have an Armada already started. It's not like you can, what's the word, like how you can instantly do a research or something with, let's say, Latinum. You can't just start an Armada with the speed ups. You have to start the Armada, and then you can see here, after clicking on the Armada flag, we'll call it, you can see the speed up button here. You can see 4,500 for this faction Armada. Best that I can tell, the cost of speeding up an Armada is relative to how long the timers are. And before we go ahead and hit the speed ups, I want to show you, well, you think they're in speed ups, show you how many speed ups I have total. Well, of course, they're not in the speed ups tab. Why they're not in the speed ups tab? Guess they're under other, wherever other section 31 currency bullshit is. Somewhere in here. Apparently I passed it. Jesus. Wow, there is way too many currencies. Here they are. 33.7. Let's write that down. Alright. I may do a few of these, so we'll see. What I want to show you. Okay, let's hit the button. We'll hit the button. Yeah, so when I bypass setting the countdown to 30 seconds, confirm. This is one thing I really don't like about it. Are you given any indication now that the Armada is sped up? I see nothing. There is that, though. You see how I hit the button and it came with an Armada limit error? Okay. Let's go back into this. If I can find those again. How many did it charge me? It only charged me 4,500. You saw that. While there wasn't an indication that, and I might as well, let's start another one just for shits and giggles. What the hell was I talking about before I decided to start another one? Oh, as you can see here, another thing to note, if you're not in the circle yet, or you're not joined the Armada yet, you see how the button's not there. And then once your ship actually got into the circle, that's when you could speed it up. So that's something to note there. And going back to what happened with the other Armada, no indication that it was sped up. I mean, there were the windows that popped up when you hit the button, but after that, there was no indication. If you're a teammate of somebody that's speeding up an Armada, you have no indication. The visual of the countdown timer doesn't change. I didn't see any fancy little mark next to next to the flag here, or the ships, or something indicating that the Armada was sped up. It's kind of disappointing. You almost don't even know that the button click went through. Except when I went and tried to do it again, it did say error, and it didn't even charge me the credits. So, while there's no visual confirmation, there is a fail-safe so you don't spend the currency again because you weren't sure that you had clicked the Armada speed up button. It's possible. Alright, so I'll give some people some time to show up if they want. I did post a message in chat. It didn't seem like anybody was really around, which is fine. Let's go to section 31 spot here. This is where you'll claim the Armada speed ups. It is a favor. You've got to buy the favor first. As you can see over here on the list, Armada Quick Start. It's the only visual I have of it because I've already bought it, so it's gone. I don't remember how much it costs. I probably should have somewhere between 20 and 35,000 Section 31 credits. I don't really remember what it was. And as you can see at the top here, Armada Speed Ups, the max is 31.5. You can hold more than that if a claim had you go more than that, like maybe an event or this claim right here. Now, you may look at the numbers of how many I'm going to get with this claim and think, wait a minute, Rhino, that's a different number. I'll show you that in a minute. So we'll claim that. And with that, those 15,000. You know, can't get any more. I already did the claim of 1 before, so you won't get to see that. All right, so let's back out here. I'm going to go inside my station. Show you what is affecting some of these timers. Now, as far as the capacity, I feel like the capacity is affected by something. And if it's level or if it's level of this building, I can't remember, but I could have sworn the capacity was lower before I started leveling this building up, but I can't be sure of that. I went ahead and leveled up this building before I even really understood what this Armada countdown bullshit really was. I've only just started getting into it, but I really don't have all the information, but I'm trying to share all the information I do have with you. So maybe if you haven't gotten too much into it, you will make some of the mistakes I made, maybe. Or maybe you were on the fence of whether you really care about this, and this is giving you some more information. You see, Armada Countdown Speed Ups, 15.75, that was my claim. You can see here, especially in the details, the level of this facade. I know that's not how you say the word, but it's that whole, was like a Kevin Hart interview where he said that's what he was saying when he was writing his script, and took him a while to figure out how to actually pronounce it. So I'm calling this building the facade. At level 1, your Armada Countdown Speed Ups is only 9,000. You're only getting 9,000 a pull. You level the building up. It's 9,000 for a while. Up to what? Level 20. That's when you get 11,250, and then you keep going, and then at 25 you get a bump. Not sure what the pattern is here. It's like the first 20 levels are the same, then every 5 levels after that you get some more. Okay, cool. However, I guess. Then here you get up to 15,000. Keep on going. You can get up to 18,000 there at 35. At 40, you can get 20,000. All the way up to, 45 is 22, 24,000. I think the building goes all the way up to 60, doesn't it? All the way up to 60, 31,500. Now that might be the capacity. I can't remember if the capacity changes or not, but here's telling you that if you do get up to level 60, you'll get this much. Not a whole lot to this. It's really not. I'm a little torn on whether I like this Armada Speed Up or not. I think to a certain extent, at least for a player of my caliber, it's going to be a lot like the, what's the stupid thing where it saves your crews. Crew presets? What do they call them? Yeah, crew presets or crew slots presets or whatever that is. We played this game so long without having some of these so-called quality of life improvements that we made up our own. So, did I really want to spend Section 31 credits on something that either I just learned to live with or I had made my own quality of life improvement? Debatable, I guess. For some of you younger players, you're probably going to want to get involved with this. It is nice. I mean, it's kind of nice. it can be very useful, especially if like there's an Armada event and you didn't feel like competing in it the first day. It's just a milestone event. You weren't crazy about having to get 32,000 points for all the materials, and then another 5 and 10,000 for a few Shran or Archer shards. So you decided not to do it in the first day. You're like, I'm going to wait till the second day. And you're like, well, shit. Incursions. How's that going to go? Yeah, incursions interfering with your makeup of an Archer recruit event. We'll piss off about that. But at the same time, after incursions ended, I was able to do... I didn't do all of it because I didn't get the officer shard, so I thought that was pointless. But I thought the materials were nice. So in an hour, I was able to get 32,000 points with the Armada Speed Ups. I mean, it helped a lot. Because you can only run so many Armadas, and especially if they're 15 minutes long. I want to do some of these quicker like Cardassian because I feel like I get less loot, so I wanted to do some of these. Help being able to crank them out like they were solo Armadas. There is potential there. We'll go ahead and speed this one up. I don't really care. Now you see nobody else is showing up. Nobody's even yelling in chat that they're on their way. It's just one of them days. I mean, it's Monday. You know, it's Monday around whatever lunchtime or work time, or not that many people around. And in between an arc, so nobody really gives a shit. That's probably the biggest reason nobody else is on right now. That, and it's kind of far out here. But how many of you are missing out on Armadas now? I mean, it's so weird. I guess because I've done Armadas so much, I'm used to even the 10-second mark. There's no 10-second mark. That's another thing, because remember, if you ever do PvP with players in an Armada, if you try to attack them at 10 seconds or less, you actually won't attack them. Because something code says Armada imminent, so we can't have that many battles going on at the same time. They're going to apply here with these speed ups. Might be something to caution yourself with doing. You know, if you don't have an enemy in the system, then you might be okay. If there is an enemy in the system heading towards you, the speed up may or may not help you. Maybe it might get wasted because you might get blowed up before the Armada happens, assuming that there isn't even that 10-second grace period right before the Armada that you can't be attacked, assuming that you're in the Armada. So, not having indications like that, I think, at the very least for me, it's off-putting because I'm so used to that. Because, you know, the circle changes. And even the countdown timer changes because the numbers get bigger. Or at least I think they get bigger. Things start flashing more. More of an indication that an Armada is about to happen. You have no indication with this, and I don't know that I hate it because I'm so used to it being the other way, or I hate it because, oh my God, can you just tell me when the Armada is actually going to happen? Is that too much of an ask to actually change the timer? I'm sure that's not exactly easy, but the Armada timer is changed to 30 seconds. How can that not also affect the visual of the timer? I don't know. You know, I wouldn't mind if the leader speeds up their Armada. Wouldn't that cause a post like starting an Armada? I mean, if you click start an Armada, automatically sends a message to your alliance chat. Well, if you speed one up, could or should it also do that? Meh. Of course, here's me, you know, also telling you what I think is all wrong with this. Well, That's how I do it. So let's wrap this up here. Spent the last 15 minutes trying to tell you everything that I know about the Armada Speed Up function. I do think it's definitely, I think, a quality of life improvement. Because it can make the Armadas go faster. No more waiting 15 whole minutes for an Armada, you know. Of course, the downside to that is how many of you are missing Armadas now? Because it takes you 7 minutes to get out there. Well, especially like one of these dark space Armadas, the leader's already there, which is kind of shitty. And you can't send directly to the Armada. So it takes you 7 minutes to get there. Well, you don't come back and check your game until 8 minutes later. Okay, you're there and you sent to the Armada, but the leader had already hit the speed up button. I really don't like it. I like it and I don't like. There's things to like about this. There's things to not like about this. I've definitely missed Armadas because they were sped up. Do I like that? Not really. Especially when the Armadas are full. Come on now. Right? Though, we're not throwing away credits here. Well, yeah, we're not throwing away credits because just because I have some boosts from my researchers, you also have them. So you're still getting the boost. It's not necessarily that credits are going to waste. It's just they're not being spread out as much throughout your alliance members, which is somewhat disappointing. But it is what it is. Just have to, as an alliance, create some more etiquette surrounding Armadas. It's disappointing that even with this quality of life improvement, we still have to do a lot of this ourselves because no indication. Which is, I think, kind of shitty. There needs to be some indication to others that the Armadas have been sped up. Of course, we said that about the Vidar Talios and its buff for expansion cubes. There needs to be some indication to other players. Hell, my teammates can't see that my Talios is buffed, not bust. Hell, my teammates cannot see that I've sped up this Armada because there's no indication on their end. I'm not sure that I'm really okay with that. I think that's gonna do it for this. So comment below. What do you think about this Armada Speed Up feature? Do you think there's a lot of things that need to be added? Like, say, an announcement that it has been sped up. Maybe some kind of visual indication that it has been sped up. And what other kind of potential problems or issues you think an alliance would have, seeing as how maybe players are not getting into as many Armadas because, they're being sped up. What kind of Armada etiquette, not necessarily rules or guidelines, do you think can be beneficial for an alliance as a whole? Be sure to like and subscribe. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.